قل هو الله أحد.
Our faithful listeners to Freely Speaking will remember that we had the privilege a year or so ago of interviewing in Geneva Syeikh Ahmed Deedat, who is president of the IPCI, that's the Islamic Propagation Center International, in Durban, South Africa. And it was amazing for me. Some of my Islamic friends in Geneva had called and said you were coming, and I didn't know this existed. I did not know about you, and it was very interesting to have our first conversation together. So since time has passed, and I am now in Durban myself, I would like to bring our audience into your center and hear you speak from your heart about your center, Islam in general, and then we'll expand out.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome.
Thank you very much for letting us come. So let's start about Durban and Islam. How did it come here?
Muslims that touched the shores of South Africa were Muslims who were brought here by the Dutch. You see, when the Dutch people conquered Indonesia, those Muslims were fighting for their freedom. They were captured as prisoners of war, and they were shipped to the Cape of Good Hope and sold to the white man as slaves. Then when the British conquered Malaysia, those Malays, Muslims, who were fighting for their freedom, they were also captured as prisoners of war, and they were also shipped to the Cape of Good Hope for the white man, and sold to the white man as slaves. For 300 years, those early first Muslims have touched these shores, and they have it under pressure from the Christians to Christianize them. But after 300 years of hammering, that group of people, they have become one of the most militant Muslim communities in the world. That hammering, instead of softening them, had hardened them as steel.
Now, you see, when you say they have become one of the most militant groups of Muslims, again, my Christian background forces me to ask, militant towards whom and to what? Because there's one thing that Christianity and Islam have in common, it's that everybody is fighting everybody everywhere.
Yes.
So who is militant to whom in Islam around here?
Yes. No, the militancy is in its defense because they were under pressure, under attack. You see, the white man managed to change his surnames. They are almost all these people that are called Malays in this country today.
Malays.
They're called Malays.
Aha.
Malays, like Malaysia. Malays. Though they were originating in Indonesia and in Malaysia, they are all called Malays. Now, that community of people, you see, because they were under pressure, the defense mechanism was also, it was not as soft. They were militant in the defense against the Christian missionaries.
Yes.
And that type of psychology remained with them. That was the one group of Muslims. And another group of Muslims came from the Indo-Pakistan subcontinent. Now, they came to this country because they were starving in India. So they came looking for a livelihood. So they settled down mostly in Natal and the Transvaal, and the Malays mostly in the Cape, because that's where they were taken in the first instance.
I see.
So the white man managed to change the names of these people. They all carry Western names. Like you'll find a Muslim name, it's a Yusuf, Hendricks, Abdullah, Fenter. So what is Fenter? What is Hendricks? What is Smith? So he says, no. These were our slave masters. They carried the names of the slave masters. Exactly as in America.
Exactly the same
thing happened here.
Yes.
But now with this difference, the 300 years of hammering that the Afro-Americans received in America, it changed them all to Christianity. This 300 years of hammering in Southern Africa made them better Muslims than the Muslims at home.
All right, then let me ask you a hard question right away. And that is, if 300 years of Christians hammering at the Muslims didn't change them, why would you think that 300 years now of Muslims hammering at Christians would change them? In other words, because the Islamic Propagation Center is not to spread Islam to the world.
to the world.
Including
Muslims,
Christians.
Jews, Christians, and to all.
You expect Christians to resist for 300 years?
No. You see,
No.
if the right approach is there, you see, there is an approach. The approach of the Christian missionaries and the Christians then was a harsh approach. Like what they did to the American Negroes. In America, same type of treatment was given to the Muslims here. But now one gave in because they had no, somehow, they didn't have that type of background, religious background, to resist conversion. These people had. They go the Malays. They had something, basic knowledge about religion, which kept them together. Now, in our approach today, you see, we are using a technique of speaking to a people, the Jews and the Christians, according to their own background and experience. The methods that were used by the Christian missionaries was, in the past, attacking Islam, attacking the Holy Prophet Muhammad, attacking the Quran, and that didn't get their honey. But we are not attacking Jesus or the Christian people. What we are saying is, we have an approach where we are calling the people, says, come, let us reason together. And in that, we say, we want to show you from your own background and experience that it was about time that you look for a person who would give you a solution to all your problems. Because we say that Jesus Christ, before he parted, he told his disciples, he said, I have yet many things to say unto you, but ye cannot bear them now. Meaning you haven't got the capacity. He had the knowledge. He had the solution to our problems for eternity. Who Jesus Christ is the mighty, as a man of God, as a mighty messenger of God, as a Messiah, he had answers to all your problems. But the people to whom he was addressing, they were incapable of receiving that message. So he says, howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak from himself, but what things shall he hear, that shall he speak, and he shall declare unto you the things that are to come. He shall glorify me. Now we Muslims, we are claiming that that Spirit of truth, or that comforter, as prophesied by Jesus, is Muhammad, and he is giving you a solution to all your problems. Those solutions might not go down well, because we are all used to certain ways of living, thinking, but if you sit and reason, these are solutions to your problems. Whatever problem you have.